Welcome back to EGL Liverpool, where we look to conclude up Group A now. We're about to see Aerox against Spacestation GG. These are our first and second seeded teams in Group A, and I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah, how are we doing, guys? Toby, Fallout, welcome to the desk.
Thank you. Doing well. A Battle of the Undefeated's coming up here. Aerox, of course, defeated Regal Reserve 2-1. Regal Reserve on the side station. I'm not sure if you guys caught the action at home. Just put up a pretty good test against the Space Station squad. It was 7-4, 7-6 in that one. So I think showing some weakness here is Space Station.
Yeah, definitely. Toby, I want to ask you a little bit more about that, actually. 7-6, that final map. That's about as close as we've seen anyone take Space Station for a long, long time. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's something to do with the roster, maybe?
I mean, on paper, it's a shock, I'm sure, to many people, especially if you're at home and you're not witnessing it live and know the details of it. But yeah, maybe it could be to do with something with the roster, but also it could just be, Space Station just taking it easy, I guess, letting off the gas, if you will, a little bit. I wouldn't be too phased about it. Yes. I think it's more a positive for Regal than it is a negative for Space Station. I still fancy, Space Station to keep their heads held high and confident that they can go on and do as they usually do.
Yeah, definitely. And on the other side of the table, we've got Aerox completely unbeaten so far. They've lost one map, I think, so 6-1 they are in maps. But yeah, they're looking real strong right now. Do you think they're probably going to be a good contender for this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do think so. 3 members of this Aerox squad, former teammates on Space Station. So they're looking absolutely phenomenal. I saw some great things from them. I was a big fan of what we saw. I think the pickup of Incisive and Little Ashen, I think, is a great pickup. They're both playing out of their minds this tournament. I think it'll be a good one. Of course, Ash, J-Rage, and Sam, former teammates of Space Station. They know their ins and outs. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people realize.
Toby, same thoughts, really?
Yeah, Aerox, nothing but impressed now. Yeah, we saw mistakes. We talked about that, but they were stronger than we've seen in previous events, and they're living up more to their names on paper. So happy for them, and can't wait to see how they get on now.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one thing that's going to influence this matchup heavily is the maps. We've got the picks and bans coming up in just a second, so we'll go through those and we'll get your thoughts on them afterwards. It looks like first ban coming out, no surprise there. Space Station banning out Harbour. Aerox going to ban out Foundation as well, so we'll not see that map. Dam is going to be the first pick of the day, so we're going to go into that first, and then we're going to see Reclaimed afterwards. There are guaranteed maps. Space Station going to ban out Impact. 2 more maps coming up at the end there. One's Aerox going to ban out that Forge Bliss, so it does mean we're going to see Lift at the end. Toby, I'll start from you and then work back down the line. What do you think these maps are going to affect the game? Do you think they're good maps for any team?
Yeah, I think they're good maps. They're not necessarily bad maps in any sense. They're more of what we'd predict in terms of a map pick and ban system. Of course, Space Station go for their favorite map in Dam. Aerox, a simple Reclaim, something they're more familiar with to play against, the top team in Europe. Okay, not too surprising there. Space Station instant ban Harbour, no surprises there. We've seen that time and time again. Yep. But look, final map is Lift again. It's like the map that no one really hates or no one really likes, so it doesn't get picked or banned. It just slips through the net each time. And Space Station, they've had problems on Lift in the past, right from the start of Season 1, but they've also had some great games in it as well. So,
and I got to say, I think these are great maps for, in my opinion, clearly Aerox did their homework. I mean, you could expect this. Ash, the former coach of the Space Station squad for I think 3 or 4 Pro Circuit events. J-Rage, Sam, former teammates of theirs. They know that Space Station's best map is Foundation, insta-ban, homework done. They just picked Reclaimed, who, by the way, Regal Reserve got taken to 7-6 on. Yep. Smart decisions. I'm not sure if it's necessarily going to mean anything in the end. The Space Station squad is such a force to be reckoned with, but smart picks and bans here coming in from Aerox.
Definitely. So I guess the only question really to ask before we get into this is, who do you think is going to win this? Toby, let's start with you. Predictions.
I think it's going to be 2-0 Space Station. I'm not phased by that result against Regal Reserve. Yes, 7-6 is a close one. Aerox did beat Regal Reserve, but I think Space Station will carry on as usual and be dominant in this one.
Yeah, and I got to go with the same prediction. First off, I got to make it known I'm 1-0 in predictions. Toby, you are?
0-1.
0-1. Just had to make that clear. Thank you very much. I'm just kidding. Good friend. But I got to also agree with Toby here. 2-0 Space Station. I think that was a wake-up call for them, what we just witnessed on Side Station. I think they are not going to let that happen here against the Aerox squad. Crazed, Phelpsy are going to turn way up as we're used to seeing them do. However, I will say, it's kind of a final thought, I think personally the Space Station squad is showing they're a little bit more weak with Godfex, sorry. It's their first time playing with him. Of course, they're working out some of the kinks, but showing some weakness here at Space Station.
Yeah, I can't really deny that 2-0 prediction. I think that's a sound prediction. I'd go with it myself as well. But you're right, there are some questions raised. The roster doesn't look as strong just yet. I mean, it's still a strong roster, right? Yeah. It's still a worldly roster. But is it as strong? Do you think this is still a roster that could potentially push for the majors? Because I'm starting to have my doubts at the moment. It's a little bit up and down.
There's, regardless of how you compare Marsh to Godfax, personally I think Marsh is the better player on paper. I think most people would say that, despite all the positivity and the praise for Godfax. I think the main thing is the chemistry built up. They were a team for so long, and they've gone through so much success with Marsh that they're going to have to really build up not only that chemistry and teamwork, but also the confidence as well. Because that Space Station are a team we know have been deflated at times where they really shouldn't be. And I think that's the main thing about it, is the psychology of the roster change.
Yeah. And I got to say, to your point, the chemistry, not only the chemistry of the five, but talk about the duo that Krim and Marsh were. I mean, they've been playing together for such a long time, well before they were picked up by Finchy Postman and played at Gfinity London for their first event. So, I mean, I really, really do think that them two being split apart, I know they're still mates, they're still good friends, it affects the situation a little bit more than people realize. I know Krim is the 1v1 player for that, or sorry, is in the fights for that squad, plays a lot of 1v1s and maps, so maybe people would think it doesn't make that much of a difference, but communication, team fights, chemistry, I think it does play a fact.
Yeah, well, gentlemen, thank you for the words of wisdom. We're going to jump into the first map now. So, Toby, Fallout, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Drew, and I am excited for this one. For the first time here in this event, we have Space Station, the Kings of Europe, undisputed Titans for all of Gears of War 4. All of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, of course, besides the one event that they got fourth place in that we will not speak of. Reaction was on the team. We were joking around about that a little bit earlier, but this Space Station squad has completely dominated the European scene. They have made their mark on the international scene with top 3 placements at their last 3 events in Mexico City, in Las Vegas, and in New Orleans. And let's see if they will continue here in Liverpool.
Yep, that is the question. We're now on main stage of Space Station. Of course, they won 7-6 rather against Greek Reserve on the side station. I think, given the main stage, the environment, I think they're going to come out swinging in this one. I do say that, though. Incisive opens one up. Krim gets one back. Sash and Co do take advantage here on the platform.
It will be Incisive that draws first blood. The stage is set here. We explained to you earlier, of course, 3 members of Aerox, former members of Space Station, and what a start for them. But it's going to be Little Ashens, the man himself, who's had an amazing event so far. Really, in my opinion, this is his breakout event as he's put himself on the big stage here and turned up and performed incredibly well so far.
Well done from Ash. 2 1v1s, a couple of 1v1s, important one thus far. Krim does clean up though, keeps the danger at bay, but Aerox, they have the damage there done over at that B-hill. Captured it, and actually a Space Station walk in. Doesn't look too confident this push. Incisive immediately taken out Hydra. Krim's had not too much damage on, but here comes the support from his teammate to the left in the form of Godfax. Jack, for those wondering. That's game attack for this event. Krim does fall. Incisive still fighting back, and it's a big shotgun fight now for the B-hill. Aerox still maintaining that numbers advantage throughout, so they've done really, really well. Not allowed to get the Space Station to put too much damage into them. Not too many kills have been cleaned up, but here comes Space Station on the flank in the middle. Incisive going for a cheeky wrapper on top, but it's going to be his teammate Ash that picks up the kill. Huge 1v1. The up A is going to be secured on Praise. And oh my gosh, the SWAT turn cancellation into a kill on Hydrone. Huge plays from Incisive. Can he get the triple though? He's actually going to force the member of Space Station to back out and retreat. So what a performance from Incisive so far on that B-hill, picking up a nice double kill. Yeah, perfect shotgunning, great timing. The shots, cover usage, it was all there. And very well done indeed. Looking at the score, Aerox do have the lead. So the underdog is definitely starting off this map in great fashion. Of course, Space Station's pick. Definitely one of their favourite maps in the entire pro circuit. Risky stuff. I don't want to see them get too hasty. Of course, J-Ray's immediately dropped to his knees here.
Yeah, an interesting situation here. The A-hill was actually pushed by Space Station and acquired, so that's why they felt the need to push that C-hill. They recognized the rotation came through and they're trying to out-rotate Space Station. They can win off with one hill. Do they turtle at this B-hill or do they go for the 3-cap? It looks like Space Station is about to put them in a world of hurt.
2 downs for Aerox there. As they've only just been revived, here comes the break. So the points they've been dealt with. Space Station have forced the game for now. They just need to clean up with those kills. Phelpsy with the double, Hydron with a kill. And immediately Space Station showing why they're the top team in Europe. Swinging this game in his head. Look at the score. They're about to overtake Aerox in that department.
There you have it. Another kill can be picked up here. Looks like that should be enough. Space Station will win, if not by points, by domination. First round, stolen away by Space Station. That had an Aerox round written all over it. They won the initial. They were controlling the 2-cap, but Space Station does that so well. They clutch up when it matters the most, and they're able to steal that round away from Aerox. Huge plays from Phelpsy to pick up a double kill on that B hill. I'm not sure who called the C hill, away hill push, but that ended up making the difference.
And that's one of the things I notice about Space Station, much like the NA teams as well. When they get team wiped, essentially, it's not a triple cap, but they've recovered. Once they've recovered and reset and they know the triple cap threat is gone, they don't necessarily just fly in once they have numbers. They position themselves and wait for the perfect moment, because they know if they, fail another push, an attempt on that neutral hill, it could be the round over. So they wait. They compose, they plan out their push, and then when they do, they're usually successful in it. And that was a perfect moment. They are showcasing that well.
Calm, cool, and collected. Phrase I'll use to describe the Space Station squad at all times. Here comes the initial for Aerox. They placed down Instant. Looks like Ashton's going to sneak away with those incendiary grenades, so he doesn't have some flame in his hands. But it's going to be none other than Ashton's himself who picks up first blood in this round. Nice instant kill by Ashton. The 4 versus 3 situation. I don't know if he still has one instant in his pocket. Looks like he doesn't, as now they want to take the numbers advantage. Good shots by Ash here. Can he get the down? Needs to value his life, and he's going to take the kill on Jack, a.k.a. Godfeck. So once again, Aerox is going to win the initial fight. The question is, can they finish?
They're certainly posturing for a triple cap. 2 of them going around the right. It's going to be a 1v1 just left while this Ash does regain his health for now. Decisive comes flying through. Phelpsy waiting the truck, tries to go for the left round. Phelpsy says no, shuts him down, but Ash, that insane damage will clean him up. Pressure remains as well. Aerox, they're still staying close. They're being confident, releasing their plays. Now they are going to back out after that numbers lost.
Yeah, they lost numbers. They also didn't really gain anything with that push. They weren't able to get a break. We'll see if they can hold on to the setup. But look at the Lancer fire. Oh my gosh, high drone. You can breathe on him and he's going to go down. He's able to stay alive though. And now, here comes the push from Space Station. Last time Space Station opted for an away hill push. They pushed the A hill and the C hill. Let's see if they go for B instead. Or will they do the same exact thing? You guys can see the outlines of the players. Of course, we only as casters and spectators have that view. The players cannot see the outlines of the opponents. Just to make the viewing experience a little bit better for you, you can see right now the away hill push is coming through. Space Station's going to wrap on the far side and push that C hill. This time, Aerox is all over it, as they know really the textbook of the Space Station squad, having formerly played with them.
Yep, Phelpsy wrapping around the score pretty much on his own at the moment. Reminds me of Gears 3 checkout, pushing through bookcase and setting up there with Ross map control down in checkout. And this is perfectly done, going really wide, just as we saw in Gears 3 on that map. And as all that's going on, Space Station, they're providing a lot of pressure from the front. You see Cribbs waiting for the opportune moment to push in from the back. Jack picking up kill, of course it's Godflex. And that is the triple cap linking now as both parties do link up on those hills. B-hill will come through. They just need to have a simple 2v1 against Stanley. It should be doable. Yeah, he will fall. Ash is going to be left on his own. Spawns do need to come through if they're going to have to hold on. We'll hold on to this round so far. Incisive flying back. And they hold on for now.
A big double kill from Incisive. Looking for the triple. They need to pick up this kill if they can. Is he going to take out his pistol? No, he goes for the last shotgun shot. Finally takes out his pistol. Too little, too late. And look at the score here. Aerox, who had control of the lead the entire game, yet again is going to lose from a mid-round push from Space Station. Really, it was the same exact strategy we saw the round before. Just so well executed by Space Station, and they should be able to secure this round here and go up 2-0.
Yep, not many options left for Aerox as somebody's overextended to the A-hill, and that's not the case. Numbers were dwindling for too long for Aerox, and
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. And honestly, John, what we're seeing right now is not too much to criticize Aerox on, because Space Station, they do this to top North American teams. Their composure in these late game scenarios these days, how they push and when they push as a team, they abuse that slaying power, but they do it in the right manner, and it's clinical. And once they have that advantage in numbers, usually they're kind of like Optic, the triple cap. It's going to come through. If not, they're going to win in points due to the time delay.
That's a great point. Not only that, but the way that Space Station has executed this away hill push, I know we talk about it often as casters, and it might seem like it's obvious, it's textbook to these guys, but think about it. The very first round, they pushed to the A hill for the away hill push, while still maintaining 2 members to stay at the C hill and set up. So the fact that they can execute that so fast and know exactly who is supposed to be in what position, the exact strategy is laid out in front of them, says how prepared the Space Station squad. That's a beautiful mid-round push. Trust me, that's not something they came up with on the whim. They've practiced that time and time again. Perfectly executed, 2 rounds in a row from Space Station. Take note, you want to keep 2 people behind your hill while pushing 3 to the away hill. Perfectly played.
Yep. Full box covered there. Topsy does find action, Rescue and Senses Awards. That's the best player in Europe with those very weapons. Very weapon does find action inside Jade Rage. This time it is actually Space Station who's going to be getting control of the B hill. Sammy's going to cleaned up, angled by Krim as he goes wide. And it looks like they are going to go for a triple cap this time, Space Station. Said, you know what, now that we've won the initial, we're going to show you potentially how to do a triple cap.
Yep. Trying to prove to Aerox, showing them how to do it, how to make it happen. As they're going to get a first down, they're going to get the break, exactly what Aerox didn't do last round. Let's see if they can finish. Phelpsy takes out one with a headshot. Hydro going to take out another in the bottom left of your screen, and look how good Space Station is at finishing these rounds, all up to Ashens. He's going to go down, and just like that, Space Station with the 3-cap domination to go up 3-0 in rounds. Nothing but knuckles on your screen right now as Space Station is feeling good, they're feeling warm, and they're proving that that match against Regal Reserve was a fluke.
Yeah. Perhaps that's exactly what they're trying to do right now, is proving and discrediting that. 3-0 is the scoreline, and now Aerox, they have to consider what's the weapon placement going to be. We've won the initial twice, we've lost it once. The time we did lose, we got triple cap fairly easily. The spawn timer, of course, is increasing. It's going to be a block down on platform, right at the center there. And you'd expect still some action though on those baby sets just between the pumping station and that platform, and some aggressiveness from both teams. Question is though, Space Station, we're going to keep up the fire in that push for the pumping station. You'd expect them to. You know, Phelps, I'm sure, is confident in getting hold of those incendiaries, but rather, he's actually a pick here. So it's a bit different from Space Station.
Slightly different initial strategy. We'll see if it has the same effect. It's going to be picked up by Ashens as this one. Phelpsy loves this wide angle push. He's going to do the exact same thing this time with the shotgun out instead of the Lancer out. Look how he's taking the wide angle.
Wide as you can go.
All the way
wide as the map will allow.
Yeah. And I like that play. What that does is allows him to be a nuisance. I mean, it's impossible to push him on that right hand. It allows Krim to do exactly that, to trap J-Rage in a pinch. Beautifully played by Phelpsy. Nice Lancer fire as well. Instin's going to pick up a double team kill actually on himself and Ashens. And just like that, Space Station for another triple cap opportunity.
Yeah, smart play from Phelpsy. That is a sign of a very, very good player indeed. You know, some at home, you know, some ranked players potentially might be thinking, oh, why do you need to push the 1v if he's confident, if he's one of the best players in Europe? Well, play it smarter. He's got the communication that his teammates coming behind. Go as wide as you can at a distance that he physically cannot push you in time because the Lancer will just down you.
Yep.
Once again, very geared to Rias going that wide with the Lancer and playing for distance. Very well done indeed.
Agreed. The one thing I've seen in the mid-round of weapon placement decisions, Aerox, you saw them? Okay, there you go. That's exactly what I was going to say. Aerox needs to play their game. They can't be afraid to allow Space Station to play their game because everyone knows that Space Station loves that boom shot fight. So Space Station is thinking right now, are these guys mad? We love this fight. We place this boom shot all the time. But I like the decision from Aerox. They also like that boom shot fight. So whether whether it's going to work or not, whether Space Station does it or not, you need to play your game. You need to play with confidence. I like the decision from Aerox.
Space Station had the advantage, pushing through the pit side of the map to the enemy's home hill. Now it's going to be battle for the boom shot. Space Station have carried out such an initial successfully against Optic and beating them, many would argue, based on their strategy. Crazed getting the double, and that's a team wipe. Simple as that. 3 members left alive for Space Station. They have the boom shot, and they're going to be running to the 3 hills now in an attempt to get this triple.
Crazed, an absolute monster. I used to love watching him in Gears of War Ultimate Edition just as much as I love watching him in Gears of War 4. Good shot to Mama Craze, probably in the chat supporting as well, as they go up 5-0 right now. Space Station, in their debut under the new organization, is showing up for the very first time here on main stage. And look at the stats. Phelpsy and Crazed leading the way with 14 and 11 apiece, the duo for so long.
Crazy. The sniping on that game was absolutely incredible, what he produced.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Jack Reaction was said to be the best sniper, and he was for a long time, even back to Gears 1. Then people thinking, oh, maybe this new guy Crazed is going to be the best sniper. It's odd because you don't see him snipe anymore on this game. And I guess we all bored of viewers about our opinion on the UE snipe versus the Gears 4 snipe.
Hot topic though, important topic. I miss the sniper being a power weapon, that's for sure. It's still a strong weapon, but it was designed in Gears of War 4 intentionally as a secondary weapon. That's why it's placed in the secondary spot. Here we go. Hydro picks up the first kill. J-Rage going to pick up another 4-on-4 situation. Boom shot in the hands of Hydro, and the flank comes through from Phelpsy. He takes out one. 1 versus 1 against Ashen, and with the support of his teammates, he's going to come out on top in that one. And just like that, Space Station is a steam train that continues to roll here in round number 5.
J-Rage spotted. Phelpsy with the pistol. Gets a few bullets in just to force him out of cover and straight into the jaws of his teammate. Ash left alone here with one incent. PlayStation are going to put 40 damage upon him, force him to throw the incent, try and keep his life. Will fall low, and it's honestly textbook at this point in time for Space Station. We've been watching Phelpsy's point of view. Quite a few rounds to switch over, but you can be certain that he's going to continue to play as smart as he's been doing every round.
As expected, that's for sure. We're used to it at this point. I mean, after seeing them break out at Mexico City with a 3rd place finish, and then of course 2nd place finish in Las Vegas, and another top 3 finish, I believe 3rd place in New Orleans. We're used to it at this point. The Space Station squad has cemented themselves as a top 4 team this season. It's been exciting to see.
Here's a response from Aerox, trying to push the enemy's home help this time round. He is going to get dropped though, is Sammy, is the Prim, or Jack rather, aka Godfax, does pull all the way back, keeps the distance and goes wide. Prim does clean up actions, and actually incisive as well. He got dropped by Lancer. You can see Phelpsy just coming straight back. He must have got some shots there from that babysitters area, running all the way back to there. J-Rage left alone here in the middle of the map. He's going to get angled out. It's back to basics, really. The players of Space Station, they're going so wide. Aerox potentially are a little bit deflated now. They're taking advantage on Space Station, not even risking a shotgun battle. When they do come through, they tend to win.
Yeah, that's for sure. How many lost fights in the Space Station squad? Arguably one of the top individually skilled teams in Gears Esports, as they're now going to go up 6-0, not 5-0, correction to the overhead map. 6-0, 1 round away from a clean sweep here to kick things off. We all know how good they are on Dam. I don't want to say it's over, but this must be demoralizing for this Aerox squad. If I'm Aerox, I'm saying, look, it's their best map. A lot of people know Dam is one of their top 1, top 2 best maps. Short-term memory, forget about it. Reclaimed. They struggled against Regal Reserve. We got to bounce back, and we'll see what can happen in map number 2. But you got to think this is far but over.
Yep, I would assume so. I think Aerox, they shouldn't be too deflated in this scenario. They've played in this very scenario, probably in many 2Ks and many tournaments, UE, for example. Getting down. I think they're a bit deflated, honestly, in the reflection skill line. Yep. Judging from how they're playing. The second half of Space Station to
Who would have helped playing this? So many players would have gone for the wraparound mental shot. Yep. So many players. Phelpsy baits it with a wall cancel, forces Ashes out of cover, and he picks up the kill. I mean, the way he played the other round, going all the way into spawn, no player thinks the way Phelpsy does, the European side of things at least. Maybe Craze, maybe some of his teammates, but from what I've seen so far in European Gears, everyone loves head down shotgunning so much, and that's really what differentiates this team. That's why they've been such a dynasty on European soil.
Yep, I think for example, the aggressive Spanish play style, they would have looked at that and said, we're going to react. It doesn't matter who they are. They'd be successful. They're usually successful, but there is alternative methods, I guess, to get the job done. Perhaps the safe approach is Phelpsy. That is the smarter approach, by definition. You will get taken out as J-Rage comes flying off spawn, but teammate Hydro does level up the numbers to keep their control of it nowadays.
You gotta wonder, if there was a statistic for most time full red, or most time red, Hydrone would be #1 in any event, I mean, this guy is always red, somehow manages to stay alive. The ability to stay slippery is a thing that we don't talk about often. He's one of the most slippery players. Look at it again, full red. I'm going to jinx him here. He's going to go down, isn't he? Nope, of course he's not going to go down. Oh, maybe. Yes, he is.
He ran out of cover.
Caster's curse. I'm sorry, Hydrone, but such an uncanny ability to stay alive.
That's not necessarily a negative that he's full red all the time, is it?
No,
he's just applying the pressure. He's applying the pressure. He's always sucking up the bullets. He's in the point of view of the player, or his teammates are perhaps doing something else or gaining position. He's always forcing that position and keeping, in the enemy's crosshair.
Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. He's not getting down. That's what matters the most. Good shots put in there. Going to take out his pistol. Did he get that down by himself? He had some support. I don't know, but that was a good pistol action from him.
Accuracy there. Brilliant stuff. He's going to go straight to the D-help. And it's down to Aerox now to hold out that E-hill. They have the score lead, but we got turn around Roger, immediately lifts up Hydro, stays wide, walks back, gets the angle on that cover. And Space Station will finish off this map comfortably. 7-0, John.
7?
Not too surprising.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say you're surprised. Knowing the Space Station squad, how dominant they are. Of course, big question mark. All eyes were on that man on the left side of your screen right now, Jack, a.k.a. Godfex. And a lot of people wondered, is this team going to be a few steps behind here? But at the same time, this event to them is the opportunity to get land practice with him going into San Diego. It's so crucial that they get some experience. Not only that, this is the first LAN that's being played on 2.8, the new settings.
Yeah,
so,
good point. Yeah.
Very interesting time, and it's a very good opportunity to get some practice in going into the San Diego Major for quite a bit of a prize purse coming here in the next couple of months.
100% valuable experience indeed. Yeah, can't agree more. Even from Godfex's point of view, you know, he'd be happy to get this event, you know, under his belt, done and dusted, and getting nerves potentially out of the way before going to the big major pro circuit, you know, against the top North American teams.
Yep. And you see map 2 going to be reclaimed here coming in just a moment. But speaking of exactly that, in watching that first map, it's the first time I've had a chance to cast Space Station in a very long time. By the way, I noticed something. Godfex offers a much different dynamic to the Space Station squad. It's not the same squad we're used to seeing, we know and love from the past 3 events. I think he brings almost like an explosive-esque ability to cross for your teammates, to support multiple areas of the map, and to help really with output.
Output.
You notice in his statistics, I think he had something like 8 kills, 12 downs, which is something, a stat line you don't see very often. A lot of support given from Godfex, aka Jack, and I think it offers a different dynamic to this team, which, by the way, I think helps. You know, you have Phelpsy, you have Crazed, you have Hydrone, and you have Krim on one team. Incredible individual players. Put some support in, help out where help needs to be given, and I think it's a good dynamic that he's adding. Much different than Marsh, who was an in-your-face shotgun-style player.
Yeah. Marsh was definitely that guy who really wanted to instigate any potential 1v, potential team fight, wanted to be at the helm. Yeah, I think proactivity, right? Godfex, he's in Gears 3, he was a bit, you know, fast player, you know, kind of GB in your face, fast. But yeah, I think it's more of a support role that he's really, you know, taken hold of here in the Space Station side.
Yep.
They don't have any shortage of shotgun ability. Not saying that Godfex isn't as good, but
shotgun,
it's just kind of like the play style, right? You know, and I think it does add to the team. I think it does slot in nicely. I think if he is proactive, if he is explosive-esque, you know, always on point, always knowing where to be at the right time, putting in shots in those crucial moments to change the tide of battle, perfect. That'll be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, completely agreed. You see Rubix, a.k.a. Keith, on main stage, flexing, trying to keep these guys happy. Of course, he is an American living on European soil. He's in the Air Force. Thank you, of course, for his service. He's living over in Germany, so he's fit into this team as their coach incredibly well. And, you know, all eyes on Godfex in a big way. I've been there before as a player. One mistake, bad placement, and you are the scapegoat immediately. So his true character is going to be defined here in San Diego. That's for sure.
I think if there's going to be a scapegoat, he is the only target right now because Space Station 4 members, they are not going anywhere anytime soon. Everyone knows that, and everyone knows how established, how good they are.
Look at this, actually. We're going to see a trick strat off the rip here for Space Station. They're going to send 2 low side. That was Phelpsy and Krim. Phelpsy with a wide angle flank. Sammy had no idea it came. And now Phelpsy caps the A-hill. They gave up the B-hill intentionally, and Krim rotated immediately to the B-hill. So I absolutely love that strategy that came in from Space Station. Not many times will you see 2 people go low side, and man, did that not work brilliantly for Space Station. What an initial strategy. I love it.
It's a very unorthodox strategy, but on paper, if you just look at this layout of this map, never have an experience, you think that would be the alternative strategy. You're losing initial, go around the flank, win up on, and wrap around the flank. But it's hard in Reclaim because of the position, how strong of a position the up top area is. You usually just see the initials, the aggressive team just going, you know, head to toe with the other team. But Space Station, they're not a team that's, you know, lacking in any department there in the initial up top. So interesting stuff. Testing new strategies potentially there, and also not underestimating Aerox.
Showing how prepared they truly are. And you know, sometimes I think it's over-exaggerated. There's a little bit of criticism of Space Station. They're not as practiced, and some of it is natural. They didn't have an organization for a long time. They weren't salaried like the American teams are. Now they are. Big shot to the Space Station organization. Really glad to have you in Gears Esports. I think you'll be happy with how exciting and how unique of an esport that it is. But now the Space Station squad has time to put in, and it showed right there. Look at that strat call. Brilliant from Space Station. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be pulling it again. It's more of a trick strap and keep
sure.
it, under wraps if it's got the tool bag there. We need to whip it out. Let's see how this one plays out. So I'll come straight in here on the B part. We're going to try and crash it back. Grim, meanwhile, is going to get a double. We got towards the lower end of the map, actually. So that's going to open things up. Ash already getting angled out through the railing. Praise the man to clean up. Ashen trying to push through with J Rage, but coming toward their actions. They're forced to push now as the gap starts to come in. That's Grim, I believe, in the enemy's home health, forcing their hand. Yep, he's already there. On the back, all ready to catch up Sam as he rolls through. There's the kill. Grim, got to give it to him. The round was won on his back there.
Unbelievable. Exactly. I was going to point that out. We didn't see it on camera, but the bottom left of your screen, you can see the kill feed. Krim is their 1v1 player, by the way. So the fact that he's picking up doubles means he was in a 1 versus 2, a pure 1 versus 2. I'm not sure if Jack was able to rotate and support that fight or not, but beautiful play from Krim. And speaking of Jack here, we'll check out the weapon placement is. I would love to see, check out some Jack action, some Godflex action. Let's see what he's all about. He's the newest addition to this roster, and now boom shot placed up top from Aerox. Okay. Let's see what Spacestation and Jack can do.
I want to get straight to it seems. Aerox, force that initial. Interesting stuff.
Keep in mind that boom shot placement changes things quite substantially as it's going to be quite a hectic fight up top. Last round we saw Spacestation opt for a passive play. They didn't push into the bowl, they didn't push into the fight, but now they're going to have to. There's a boom shot there. So expect in your face type of gameplay. Looks like double Lancer strat's going to come through. Jack and Phelpsy, that's right, make that Craze. Craze picks up the initial. Can you get a double here? Phelpsy's going to do it instead. Finally Craze gets shut down, but it's not going to matter here as J Rage is left in a 2 versus 2 versus Jack and Phelpsy.
Jack tries to back out there as Insights goes for that steam train. Isn't able to roll back in time. And J-Rage will be clean by Phelpsy. Not too sure if that was necessary, honestly, that boom shot at 2v1, but maybe they're just trying to speed up and go for that triple cap. That one time is the overextension. As Krim already on our screen, touching way down the home street. Leading at the helm for that triple cap, but Ashes does well. Meanwhile, to break that helm, push them off and roll back.
Smart decision by Phelpsy to hold that boom. Smoke, want to waste it, but speaking of wasted, he's actually just going to launch that one. Not going to pay off for him. Phelpsy full red, going to back out and reset. And one thing I'm noticing that's a big difference maker has been the 1 versus 1. An amazing 1v1 individual player, plays the home hills for the Spacestation squad. It's showing why right now. I don't think Sam matches up very well against him, to be honest.
The thing is as well, Sam used to be the 1v1 player for Spacestation. That's his position, so it's probably quite demoralizing, honestly, for Sammy against Krim. But it goes to show, potentially, Krim has the upper hand here in the playing department, and he's playing
he replaced him.
Maybe that's why. And he's definitely playing it very, very smart. He's where he needs to be at the right time. He's not being over-aggressive. He's being aggressive whenever possible. That was a nice wraparound shot. Sammy's heard me, definitely, because there's a double. Nicely done from him. And Spacestation, although they're the score lead, they have home hills. Aerox now have a choice. Where they're going to go. They have the B hill control. They're going to just make sure they hold on to it.
They get a double kill. They're going to finally get that A hill broken. We want to see them almost immediately take advantage. They're going to do exactly that. Using their numbers advantage to take the 2v1 on the Krim. Well played. Looks like Jack's going to be tagged up full red here. He's going to go down as well. Good opportunity for Aerox. They should be able to close this one out, but that's a big should. If you're going up against Spacestation, easier said than done, of course.
They've snowballed this excellently, though. They've picked apart the players at the right time. The weakest positions are taken down first when they go through the numbers. They're all near each other. Enough to get any shotgun fights. Craze, though, with the double. That's the star player coming out to make sure he can stay alive. J-Rage already running tail between his legs back to B. He knows
Look at the score lead, though, for Spacestation. So those 2 kills from Craze should have all but secured Spacestation's round. Boom shot still up. J-Rage needs to pick up. He's going to go for the overcover push or through the grates. Looks like he wants it. Instead, he's going to turn on Craze. Takes out 1. Look at the score, though. Spacestation will win off 1 hill. He needs to act faster as they need to get a triple cap domination to win this round.
Not going to shotgun. He needs to make sure he gets the kill. He does. It's a trade. CO being broken, though. Sammy, speaking of him, he has overextended on the home street. A-hill, though, of course, the basic overextension from Krim to respond. It was broken last minute, but the B-hill has been captured. Krim wins that 1v. Phelpsy, no competition at the B-hill. So, Spacestation, they do hold out, despite Aerox with the quick points gaining, shall we say, coming up there.
And well played by Space Station there. Way to turn that from a game of Gears of War to a game of whack-a-mole. You have points being gathered at A, B, C. You never know where they're going to pop up. And that's exactly what you want to do in that situation. You want to disperse and send bodies to as many hills as possible to make it as spread out of a map and as difficult of a situation as possible for Aerox. Again, that should have been an Aerox round. I mean, they had a triple kill, turned into to 4 dead, and it was crazed with a huge double that was able to win the round for them. I mean, there's no reason Aerox should have lost that round. As well as a couple more on down.
Craze Fletcher. Just as was praising them of their shotguns and staying in 2v1 scenarios and being close for the close support. Zero the scoreline. Boomshot still here, of course, as we get back into the swing of things. Inside the team round, he has the right idea, looking for that player to come through, but Hydro does beat him to the shot. Ashton's with the double, meanwhile, the ball fight should be won. Boomshot, the reward, Felty left on his own, trying to punch that 1B as quick as he can, but no, J-Rage backing off, keeping his distance, winning that damage fight.
First decision from Ashton is to get rid of the Boomshot, not waste that shot. Instead, take out a shotgun, helps for the kill. Krim now downs one, turns, and is almost going to head down the other. Can he pick up the kill? No. He's full red, stuck in a corner. Not in the best situation, but of course, he's Krim. But he does get taken out finally by Sammy. So Sammy gets some revenge here. Boomshot kill picked up from Ashton's. He still has one more because he saved the boom earlier. The smart plays here from Ashton's. Can he get the double with the Boomshot? Instead, he is actually going to take out his shotgun, I believe. Not even wasting that boom. So, hey, we only need one. That's it. They're going to pick up their first round of the match so far. Aerox showing some life.
You saw Space Station, like 3 players in the winery there, just looking through the window, ready for the push from Aerox. And they're just trying to bait that boom a little bit, you know, perhaps on the window, and seeing, trying to time out when they come through that door, because of course that boom shot will be aiming at that choke point and waiting for it even for that triple cap.
You need a smoke stun to be able to survive there, so that was a good job by Space Station, dropping that smoke at their feet. Not going to be enough, but now looks like Marks is placed up top, so who's going to pick that up, if anyone? That Krim placed it, but it looks like he placed it for his teammates. So we'll see who's going to grab that Marks up top for both teams. Something tells me either Craze or Phelpsy on the Space Station side.
Yeah, with that weapon, you could expect a bit more baiting, perhaps with that boom shot pickup.
A Hydron
through the railing. We'll have to wait and see if they play it out that way.
This is going to be Phelps to grab Marks. Craze picks up a headshot off the bat. Incisive, though. Going to neutralize the kill on Craze. 4-on-4. Boom shot picked up by Ash for the time being. Sammy picks up a kill on Hydron, so a change in strat here. Sammy's going to rotate flank. Wow. Goes on the flank. Phelpsy turns on him, but the boom shot's going to come in and take out Phelpsy. 4 dead for the 2 versus 1 right now in favor of Space Station.
Yep. J-Rage looking to see if he can provide some pressure. Krim, he's in a weak position, but he knows they're going to be pushing, so trying to slow them down at the very least. His teammates come up respawn. Yuri's trying to go for that 1v. He does take down Ash, excellently done. Using the cover of the wall.
Wow.
And he stays alive, full red. Said to be one of the smartest players in Europe, and this is exactly why. High pressure scenario, can't die, but he's still being proactive. He's still putting it out. He's getting kills, Josh.
Did it that way. Honestly, brilliant. So I know if you're watching at home, what did you do? He got 1 kill. No, there's so much more to that. His ability to stay alive in a 2 versus 1 for 15 seconds, wait for his teammates to respawn, pushes, picks up a kill under pressure, full red, stays alive, back rolls, gets the down, gets the kill. I mean, absolutely brilliant from Krim right there. Those are the things that make a difference between great players and good players. Krim showing that he's up there with some of the best in terms of intelligence. Beautiful, beautiful play from him.
He was containing 2 players, essentially. Yeah. That's what in reality it is. He didn't have too much damage on them, but he was making them double think, oh, can I push this? Or, you know, if I go down to Krim here, it's not a great scenario. Let's stay alive instead. You know, just make them double think and keeping up that pressure. Well done, Krim. Perfect stuff.
Very well played. And he's showing on the stat board. He's currently first for his team with 10 kills, 5 downs. Of course, a lot of caps and breaks because he's a home hill player, but top 2 in kills as a home hill player is not easy to do on any map, let alone reclaimed. Really great play so far from Krim. 4-1 is the score in this one. And now, boom shot placed up top by Aerox again. It didn't work out. Oh, sorry, not again. It's been like that. In 6th place, middle is the difference here. Let's see if it pays off.
Krim winning his 1B and Sam on that home street again. Hydron utilizing the incentive place down the middle. Good stuff from him. And Space Station, they're going to make sure that they're safe with the boom shot. Instead, going to take up that kill on decisive. Not sure if that was necessary, that boom shot, but saying that the numbers game to suggest it was. Just speed, 5 rounds down. Triple cap coming through, Ash will get dropped. Second round from Space Station, they win across the board. In the middle for the Incense, did Hydrone, winning the initial at top, and Crim winning his 1B against Sam down bottom.
Yep. Well played, 5-1, 2 rounds away from an absolute mollywop right now for Space Station. I mean, they are showing up in such a big way. They're showing why they're a top 3 team globally. They, of course, dominated the European scene for so long. They couldn't find that breakout event in Season 1. Season 2, they had a huge event in Mexico City. No one was sure if they'd repeat. 2 events in a row. They got second and third place again, and consistency is certainly showing here in Liverpool as well.
Yeah, nothing but consistency both in gameplay and scoreline here, although we say that. 7-6. Yeah. Not phased, as we mentioned, as commentators.
They're a main stage team.
They're a main stage.
They're a main stage team. Look at the strat here. Looks like they faked Scooby Hill push and rotated through the D-Hill, pushing the 1v1 again. So another trick strat is going to come in here for Space Station. It's going to be Craze that picks up a kill, a little risky kill against Sammy. I like the strat call coming from Space Station. They're practicing some strats here, as they know they can practice on land against these teams where, obviously in North America, you got to be a little more cautious.
Likewise, across the other side, we've got 3 players, I believe it makes it, of Aerox. Yeah, they're on the other hill. They've gone all the way from east, sprinted to the opposing hill, knowing exactly what Space Station is doing, clocking on very quickly, seeing how many, through the top bar are actually coming to be, so they do direct their attention elsewhere. A nice reaction from them.
So Aerox saying, anything you can do, I can do better. They put the exact same strategy and pressure on Space Station at their away hill. They're able to grab the D hill and they can the E hill. So smart play, rather than just panicking and backtracking your home hill, you're going to push your away hill instead. I like that call here.
Pressure as well, they're still here, they're up mana, they've got the damage on Crim, they're just trying to get that back A to clean him up, provide access to that next hill. Wow, great damage. Pistol damage from both teams, it's a trade. Showcase of skill from both teams here, and smart. Crim trying to keep his health as long as he can, keeping the players at bay. Godfax equally so, winning that fight on the left. Ash is going to get taken down, Godfax with the double. 2 players left alive for Aerox, and now the E-Hill should be changing hands as soon as Space Station rotate.
46 seconds dead for Crim. If I was a betting man, I'd say that's the lowest on the Space Station team. Again, it goes to show how good of a job he does of staying alive, valuing his life, how intelligent of a player he is, backing out from every fight, which are, by the way, the most frustrating players to play against, the ones that are just so elusive. Crim, one of the best at it.
Most definitely. Godfax picking the kill against Sammy. Actions, found his way to the other side. Godfax waits for the up A, times it perfectly. That's too slow, of course Ash is just behind. Immediately got back together. Ash has done well there, pick up Crim sitting around. Here comes the triple cap blinking. J-Rage is there. Here comes the move from Godfax. Some aggressive play. Look at that. Definitely very hard to hit that. Unpredictable movement. There is purpose in those A button presses. E button control now. Aerox pretty much lost at this point because the points have been built at the Space Station. They've got the 2 hills. Aerox don't even have time or actions on at least to get home though.
Unpredictable movement right there from Jack, but I think what I was more impressed by was really pick up the pistol. Not many players right there are going to pick up their pistol quickly. Of course, not many people know this, but it's actually faster to switch to your pistol by just a few milliseconds than it is to switch to your Lancer or Nasher. And that was actually an intentional design feature of Gears of War 4, as they wanted to make that pistol more of a quick draw from what
There we are. 6-1 as Phelps cleans up his teammate. Nicely done, and I think going back to that pistol point, right? It takes some confidence in yourself, in your pistol, and also your teammate that if a shotgun battle was to ensue, if he was trying to close the gap really quickly, J-Rage, clocking onto what Jack was doing, you'd have to be confident in your weapon to not be caught out there. It's a very risky play doing that compared to other Gears games, whipping your pistol out at that range, but no. He timed it perfectly, he was spot on, confidence clearly there, and his teammate is reliant on him. Was certainly present. Yeah. Boom shot down bottom in the workshop. Could be the last round if Space Station do win this initial. But let's see. Aerox, they did well with the boom shot placements, of course, against Regal Reserve. Is it going to be the same case here on a different map from Reclaimed? Bottom up.
Match point here, of course. Space Station 7-0 at Aerox in game number 1, but an interesting ride, that's for sure. And the scoreboard is showing Space Station dominating, but the game match just before this, we'll give you an update, of course, after this round ends, was not as easy for Space Station. So, let's jump back into it. On board with Ashton, she's been quite the rising star here this tournament. Newest member of this Aerox squad, replacing Godfax, aka Jack, who's now on Space Station. 8 kills, no downs for him, and a 1-versus-1 here against Jack, who he replaced actually on his team. And Jack's just going to sneak away here with the fight. Backs on the resets. Ashton's going to do the exact same. Wow. around.
The movement,
So
trying
tense.
to bait that holding the shot from Krim. It doesn't work out in the end. Nothing but smarts on show here, along with the flashy raw skill. J-Rage will fall. Krim does pick up target, finds the kill. Once again, Sammy comes flying into the mix. They're just trying to catch the opponents off guard, but SSG are having none of it. Nicely done indeed. And just going back to the point, let's bring up Jack again. He was in a 1v1, a strict 1v1 top arm, but immediately he turned around and just exited that during all the fights that were going on, the anarchy that was ensuing. He backed out safely. He ran back to his side of the bottom barn, reset his health, because he knows it's not a favourable position. He'll live to fight another day. A much wiser, more opportune moment.
And that is the difference between Jack and I think a Marsh. Not that Marsh can make smart plays, didn't make plays, he definitely did a lot of that. But Jack is more of a stay alive, be annoying support player, whereas Marsh is an in-your-face fight at all times of day player. Jack showing that he's fit this mold pretty well, as Space Station's going to win this one 7-0 to 7-1. A lot of controversy around that roster change, but boy, this Space Station squad is looking great with a decisive victory over Aerox.
I mean, what is there to say, right, about the Space Station squad? I was just pausing there, looking at the scoreboard. Space Station, they're slaying their strats. They're bringing some new strats out. Nothing but impressive, that performance, and they live up to their name here in the EU.
Yeah, any questions we did have at the start of this game, against Regal, well, they've just washed those out of the park, right? That was a fantastic showing against what we thought was a really, really strong Aerox team. So, I mean, yeah, it looks like Space Station of old here.
Yeah, that's for sure. And, it's if those are just tuning in and maybe haven't been keeping up with the action all tournament long, Space Station in the match right before this playing against Regal Reserve. And you might say, who? But Regal Reserve, 4 Spanish members playing with strikers, who you're more than familiar with coming from the French side. They they won 2-0, but it was 7-4, 7-6. So it was a little bit more tough against that Regal squad. And Aerox actually beat that Regal squad. So a lot of people coming in this match, I personally thought it'd be a lot closer than we saw. But maybe Space Station's warming up a little bit. They're playing with the new 5th in Jack, a.k.a. Godfex. Maybe working out the kinks in that first match, but they're looking very strong right now.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had a problem there. He looked, like he'd been there for quite a while. But that does conclude the group stage for the tournament, which means we can get the final groups up on the screen right here. So let's start with Group A. We've just seen that final match, Space Station topping that group, 4-0. Not dropped a map, fantastic showing, pretty much what we expected, right? Aerox dropping in there at that second spot. We see them 3-1, pretty good showing from them, and then Regal slotting in just below them. Obviously puzzled, Kill Squad 0. Had a good showing against each other, but against the other 3 teams, pretty difficult match, to be honest, pretty difficult group. Then we jump over to Group B. Lucent Esports topping that group. Again, don't think any surprise coming in. They were the second seeded team of the event. Really strong roster, and we're touting those for better things to come, really. We expect them to get stronger as well throughout the tournament. Fox Esports, they've surprised me. 2-1 in that group. A lot of people probably would have put XCon above them in that second spot. So I think that's a little bit of an upset there we've got. And then Upsler rounding that group up at 0-3. Any big surprises minus the Fox, or pretty much standard procedure here?
In my opinion, that last match we just saw between Aerox and Space Station is the biggest surprise to me. Aerox looked incredibly strong against Regal Reserve. 3 former members of Space Station. You think they'd maybe have the number of their former teammates in Crazed and Phelpsy, but instead, just not showing up. Maybe they were sleeping. Maybe Sammy's still awake in Ibiza, where he just got back from a couple days ago. But not the best performance there in that match against Space Station. I think Aerox is going to bounce back tomorrow. For me, my biggest thought leaving this group stage is now it really is all down to Lucent, and a lot of people would put as the second best team in Europe. Can they compete with Space Station? They're our only hope for a great grand finals tomorrow, or a great championship bracket, which, by the way, speaking of which, here is our winners bracket for tomorrow. Yep,
this is the bracket. We can see it on screen right now. So, Space Station and Lucent both getting buys in that first quarter-final game. Does mean, though, we are going to see Fox Esports, the Italian God Squad, match up against the Spanish in Regal Reserve, and I think that 4th v 5th seed is going to be a very, very good match. In fact, that's just about to kick off on Station 1, just behind us right now. So we're going to hear that one soon, I'm sure. And then, on the bottom side, Aerox and XCon, another really, a really strong bracket, I think, a really strong matchup there with 3rd seed against 6th. It's a pretty close one. On the loser bracket, though, we do see Team Upside. They got a bye through a only because they were in the group with 4, right?
Yeah.
So they had a little bit of an easy run, which does mean that Puzzled Gaming and Kill Squad 0, they match up once
The
again.
rematch for the ages.
Rematch, right? I think both teams have wanted this one as well, because I don't think that settled the score after the first one. It was decisive to Puzzled, but Kill Squad saw some life in that, and I think they'll want a second shot at that for sure.
Yeah, and a big shout out to those 2 teams. Of course, every team that showed up supporting European Gears in such a big way. I know a lot of these guys formed recently. They came out to support the scene, and you got to give a lot of respect to those individuals. I had a chance to meet some of them, and stand-up guys. That's
for sure. I mean, Toby, just on the Puzzle Gaming and Kill Squad 0, do you think Tids and his squad can overcome the Puzzle Gaming roster? I mean, they've lost once, but the upset possibility is there, I think.
It's there. I mean, Jay Tids is a name everyone's familiar with. He's an experienced player. He's played with teams. He's played in LAN. Yeah, I could see it.
It's possible, right? It's possible. Anything is possible when Tids is in the house.
Toby the optimist here. Toby the optimist.
Always
the
optimist. That doesn't say anything. I'm supposed to say what's coming up next.
Yeah.
And on main stage, we are going to see Aerox stay up there, and they're going to go against a pretty hot XCon roster. What are we thinking here? Do we think that's going to be a good one?
A deflated Aerox for sure. I mean, you just got 14-1 by your former teammates. They're a great squad. They just need to wake up. They need to turn up. They need to do something. Go splash some water in your face in the bathroom or do some push-ups. I don't know what it is. But this Aerox squad is a much different team than we saw against Regal Reserve.
Yeah, Toby, same sentiment?
Yeah, they're a bit deflated, but I think Aerox will still be confident. They've lost to Spacestation a lot of times. I think they're the more confident team going into this probably than XCon. Maybe an opportunity for XCon to take advantage. A few rounds here and there due to, being warmed down, as you might say, a little bit deflated, but not. I don't think it's anything significant now. I think Aerox will, hold their own.
I think it'll be a good one for sure. And with that, we're going to go to a break. I think it's Toby and Elliot up next, Toby and Darko. So please stay tuned. We'll be back very, very shortly. We're just going to get the team set up, and we'll be back on the action.